Freedom Radio Hour. Live on Capital Radio 91.6 FM.
All right. Welcome, everybody, to another edition of the Freedom Radio Hour. I'm your host, DJ Adam Cruz, and I have my fabulous co-host here,
Eddie Nicholas. What's up, good people?
Yes, and we're broadcasted live and direct where?
Capital Radio 91.6 FM, the Heartbeat of Sudan.
Yeah.
Boom, 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 boom.
I can't tell you how excited I am to see you. Good to see you again, my man.
Yes, likewise.
I'm really excited. Season 1, Episode 3, and I want to make sure that we followed up. First of all, as you know, the Freedom Radio Hour is here to provide you with some good music, but we also want to let you know the latest in music, business news, and trends from around the world. Take, for instance, last week, picking up on what we were talking about. We were really figuring out through the various reports that iTunes sales are going down. In 5 years' time, we're going to look at a 39% drop. We also have deteriorating rates and fees coming back to the artists by way of these streaming services. So that YouTube and that Spotify, that's all well and good that the money's out there and there's more for artists to make, except we're talking reality. We're artists in the game, and we realize we're not really seeing a lot of money coming from those streaming services. If anything, we both have been able to receive a time or two an ASCAP check or something like that. But that's no way to make a living. Those are pennies on the dollar at that point. So we want to know, what do we do?
What do we do?
Well, we were talking about one thing. Remember, my fabulous co-host Eddie here was talking about fans. Well, what he calls the rent parties, which makes me giggle.
Parties.
Because you know why I love it? Because everything old is new.
It's new. Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So basically, Fanswell. If you go to fanswell.com, basically it is a forum in which musicians can get their fan base together at a location, usually someone's backyard, a living room, or something like that.
And charge a fee.
And they get a smaller, intimate setting. They get to enjoy a live show from their favorite artists, and everything's gravy. So that's an interesting way for musicians now to start making income where the touring dollars aren't there because they may not be known enough, et cetera, but they can enjoy the benefit of some income through these shows. And there's testimonies from these musicians.
And you know what? And not only that, they have more sense of a control.
Yes.
Of what they can do, and you know what they want to put out there. They can really package and give an audience themselves.
Yes, I agree. I think that I love the DIY model, the do-it-yourself.
Do-it-yourself.
Because a lot of us independent artists need to think outside the box for ways to make real income. Because as we see, the download dollars, that streaming service dollars, they're all plummeting. So we have to make it up in some way. So here's some other things I call low-lying fruit, things that we are basic to, and we know them.
I like that term, low-lying fruit. Yes, sounds like something from one of my little Billie Holiday songs. Low-lying fruit. I'm sorry.
Yes, but some other basic bits of knowledge that I want to share with you guys is, of course, as an alternative, if you're in house music, you really want to get your music on like one of the bigger dance sites. So Beatport or TrackSource or a site like that, that's very advantageous, except they take a lot of money. TrackSource takes upwards of 40% of what you earn.
But you're taking 40% of $1.99 daggone cents or whatever, $3. You know, that's crazy.
Right, but we're talking about this. To your point last week, you're saying the people that are making the lion's share
are the owners of those.
Yeah, those aggregators and such. So here it comes in. Bandcamp. Bandcamp.com is a way in which you could put things up on your own music, and you could sell it to your fan base using social media like Facebook and Twitter to get the word out.
And they take like 20% or 10%?
They take 15%.
That's not bad.
That's not as bad as 40.
No.
And they also, if you make a certain amount of money, they will drop their rate to 10% if you make enough.
Oh, okay.
So I really like that.
So it sounds like Bandcamp is more geared toward artists.
Yeah, just the independent artists. But even label, I'm a label owner. Eddie is a label owner. We, as label owners, we also rely on Bandcamp because it's another way in which we could just let the world be known. And to your point earlier, we have more control. Because a lot of these, as you hear all of these various stories with beautiful artists and groups that they have to file for bankruptcy, which is such a shame. And that's because you get holed up in these contracts and have to recoup all of these expensive charges videos and such, and artists didn't really know that. And
no, they knew.
They didn't know it to that degree. You didn't know that if you stayed at these hotels, that's going to be the highest rates.
What do you think is paying for it?
Well, you certainly don't think that all of that is actually out of your own money until you see finally a statement, which was TLC. Remember TLC went through that. And there are plenty of other groups that have had to. Tony Braxton had to file the bankruptcy because between everything else, and then you start to live beyond your means. That's a separate discussion.
And the company shells out the money. You want to live it, we're going to shell it, but remember, we're going to take it back.
Right. That's right. So I like these particular tools because, yeah, you don't have the muscle of the record label industry, but I argue that the muscle really isn't there anymore. The way it used to be, the formulas that worked in the industry before just don't apply now. It's a totally different landscape with a totally different new set of rules that even those rules are starting to get broken because we're learning that technology is happening faster than we can adapt to it.
Now, speaking about that, I think we were talking earlier, you said something about YouTube, because I think this kind of falls on with what you're saying.
Yes,
as
YouTube.
far as with the music and them, if not giving away music that evidently did not work out to benefit.
Yes. Well, the very interesting thing, now that you brought that up, is that YouTube, the great duo, I love Sunday Bloody Sunday. I was about to pull out the vinyl because I have some of their old vinyl. Well, YouTube being one of the biggest rock groups ever, what they decided to do this time around with their latest album entitled Songs of Innocence, they wanted to release it on iTunes for free. Absolutely free. Which is a wonderful idea because now we're understanding that the valuation of music is changing, and it's nice that groups like of their stature are considering out of the box methods for getting their music out to their fans. But we should have learned before that when we mess with computer companies, we usually don't understand all of the technology and it messes us up.
Glitch.
So what I'm talking about initially is when the recording industry was supposed to have a better understanding when they started to mess with computer companies when iTunes came around, and they allowed themselves to have the computer companies designate the prices. So those iTunes downloads when they first came out were 99 cents, and the recording industry didn't put up enough of a lobby or a fuss about that
until after the fact.
So we started basically cut off at the knees to begin with because we allowed an industry that is not our own to dictate our own prices. We did it again now. With these computer companies, YouTube decides, okay, let's put out this product for free. The big glitch, it forced the product onto the end user. What does that mean? When you open your iPhone or your iTunes library, it was forced onto your account. Now, that's all cute if you're a YouTube fan and you have space on your device. But if you don't have the space, nor are you interested in any of YouTube's music, you basically got your device flooded and your space taken up by something you didn't want.
And not only that, if they're doing that with music, who else to say? What else can they flood you with?
And what else can they force upon you? Here we go. And now we open the rabbit hole. Down we go, trying to figure out how best to protect ourselves and to think outside the box at the same time. I think we need to take a lesson and understand that when we mess with computer companies or any technological companies like Apple and others, we've got to understand all of the angles as it affects our music and our fans, because now you pissed off fans because they don't like the way it was delivered. You pissed off non-fans. Now they almost never going to want to be into your music because they're going to remember what you did to them. And even though Apple has issued an update to what they're doing and made sure that it was no longer forced upon the end user, but it was too late. Now it's done.
Well, I don't trust them Apple people anyway.
Well, okay, so what's the mistrust about?
The mistrust is stuff just like that you're talking about. All this technology and people becoming so branded. I'm one of them too. I'm not going to lie. I don't walk nowhere without my phone.
I know.
But at the same token, we have so much information out there that people know our every step, our every move.
That's right.
Whether it's good or bad.
That's right.
So, when you start hearing stuff like this and you're hearing companies such as iTunes able to basically force stuff on you and then pull it back. It's so, what was that book with the eyes, that famous book, 1980?
1984.
Yes, 1984.
Yeah, it's very Big Brother, very 1984, very enemy of the state.
We're coming very much not very much. We're already there.
That's right. With all of this, technology meets security meets. Yep. They're opening a lot of discussion for us because we rely on them so heavily, but then they come with their own set of problems like this. And you know what? YouTube, unfortunately, that's not the first example of artists trying to get their music out.
But didn't Prince give something away for free? But I think that...
No, thank you for reminding me. I was going to mention two things. So first thing is, Jay-Z, when he releases Magna Carta LP, he released it through Samsung. So through your mobile device, you got the product for free. But the fans, it backfired again. Why? Because in order to get it, you have to give a lot of personal information about yourself that people didn't really care for. They didn't care for having to share information about yourself in order to gain access to it. So that blew up. And then the other thing was, it was purchased. The record label purchased all these copies. So it becomes like, okay, what's really selling? What isn't now? It gets weird. But who got that off? Prince. When he released, way back in the day, now that you're recalling it, there was the album that was called the Musicology LP. And he released it through a UK newspaper. So when you bought the newspaper, you got the physical product. And that went like hotcakes. He was one of the first, and all of a sudden he was able to claim platinum status because of the subscribership through this UK company. He got to hit more than 1 million people. But why did that work and the others fail? I think it has to do with physical product versus digital product because
it's in your hand.
It's technology. Now you have to infuse technology in order to get the product. You know?
And again, when we're talking about technology, the way it's being done with them collecting all of our data, it's now making it okay. We know what you like. This is the stream we're going to feed you.
Right. And then we start to talk about that because even your Facebook ads, they've come under fire because the ads now, when you look at them, is all stuff that you're into, all your interests. You don't really get advertisements that are outside of your interest, which is great if you're only interested in what you're interested in. But what if you want to discover something new? Now you're not being fed advertisements that are opening your horizons, number one. And number two, it's a little bit fishy. You don't think it's fishy that your ads that you look at are just targeted towards what you like and it doesn't give you the opportunity to go outside of that? And who said that was okay?
That little button that we accidentally either pressed or clicked to move on to get past whatever that page was we got stuck on that we couldn't move from until we clicked OK.
That's right. Force. It goes on and on and on.
In order to get this, you have to do this.
That's right. And you have to give up something to get something, especially if you're getting it for free. So I get that. But I'd like the tried and true. Like, I'll give your email address and we'll put you on a list. And then that way you can opt out at least. You have the opt out option or whatever. But it's a slippery slope, but it's a necessary evil to a certain degree because here I am touting products and things to do on your own as an independent artist, like the Fanswell and the Bandcamp. Yep, TuneCore is another one if you want to put music
I think
on
we
iTunes.
also, because I think we tried it, we merchandise.
Yes, merchandising is key. One of the things that we like to try, Cafe Press. Check out cafepress.com. And also, there's a couple of other ones. I also want you to check out bigcartel.com. It's basically like a cafe press. How does it work? You get a design of your logo or your album or whatever it is, and you can pick products, and they will place that design on them. People can buy them. You mark the price up. You make a little profit. So I think that could work because that's another do-it-yourself.
And what's CG Baby, or the when you make your own CDs? You
that's
buy
a good
CDs
point.
in bulk.
CDbaby.com.
CD Baby,
Yep, you can do that now. Even through Bandcamp now, they have like fulfillment, ways to fulfill physical product and be able to handle things like pre-orders, both digitally and physically.
And I'm saying it's affordable.
It's all affordable. And there's another thing that I wanted to make sure to mention. Here we are again talking about the need for technology. But I thought it was a cool idea I read about this. Discrevolt.com. Discrevolt is a company where they issue download cards. You know how the thing is when you're performing at a Lincoln Park or at an event, and at the end you go, buy my product on iTunes, buy my new song. The thing is with that, you have to hope and really try to drain in them that you want them to buy your music. But the problem with that is when they leave, you don't know whether they're going to look you up or not. You just let everybody know where it is. But Discrevolt allows this alternative way. So at the end of the performance, you could say, hey, buy my music right now. Come see me and buy this card. The card could be $10 for your album, let's say. They basically got a code, a download code. for that dollar. So for those $10 or whatever. I think that's a great thing because you get the money right up front. You know they have it, and then they could choose whether they're going to go ahead and put that code in and download it because they've already purchased it, and that money's already hit your hand. So I like that.
It's like a prepaid
calling card.
Calling card, yeah.
Right, but it's for music. And then they get fancy. Like there's, if you go to the website discoveable.com, they have fancy things. So you can make a custom of your album cover and make it look nice. And yeah, it's essentially.
But you know, again, that alleviates an artist having to carry a whole stack of CDs.
Right.
You know, it makes it more compact. Right. And it is kind of elegant in a way.
Yeah, and I like it because you know right away whether somebody's kind of purchased your things or not. You know, so all of this information, everything we're talking about, sound off. Let us know if you know about any other products that you think we should be aware of, so we can let the people know in the Sudan and around the world. Let them know if you're an artist, a music enthusiast, a producer, what have you. If you hear about a product, hit us up. FreedomRadioHour.com is the website.
That's
and
right.
Just leave a comment under all that we're posting and sound off. Let us know what you think. We're very eager to hear your opinion. And of course, search out Eddie Nicholas and Adam Cruz on Google.
www.eddienicholas.com.
Yes, and the FreedomRadioHour.com and DJAdamCruz.com for the latest. I'm just so glad to be here. Make sure that you let everybody know. Tell a friend, tell a foe, tell
a neighbor.
Yes, tell everyone.
Twitter, Facebook, all those social media. Come and check out the Freedom Radio Hour.
Yes.
Capital Radio 91.6 FM, the heartbeat of Sudan.
Yes.
We love you.
We love you. Peace out. Have a great weekend and have a good rest of your week. See you next time. Peace.